and welcome to another free.volous webisode, the first one of 2017. Happy New Year for everybody. I hope you're having a great early year. And first, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I've cut 2/3 of my hair off. If you want a video on the pros and cons of short versus long hair, I think that would make a very nice video. Let me know down below. So let's jump into my favorites of 2016. Just keep in mind, these are not necessarily new releases of 2016, just things that I found out and fell in love with throughout that year. Yeah? Let's dig into it, shall we? The first thing, foundations. This was a great year for foundations. The first one I have to talk about is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. This is supposed to be a very heavy coverage foundation that can be used as a concealer, and yes, you can do that, but you've seen me using this in a no makeup look. And the best thing on this one is that I can do whatever I want. It's really creamy, but it's not glowy. It's one of those satin in the middle of foundations, and I really enjoyed using this one this year. I keep grabbing it, and the only downside is that they don't sell all the colors here in Portugal. Next one, this one also was featured in at least one video. It's a Shiseido Synchro Skin Foundation. I did an up close and personal video with this one, and I was blown away by this one. This is one for those of you who have those sort of standard normal lives. You need something to look polished, but you don't want to look overdone. This just really perfects your skin, but it feels really lightweight. It feels like nothing on the skin, and it looks absolutely like skin. It's a beautiful fluid foundation. It has a bit of SPF, so great for on the go, for going out and being out and about all day. And above everything else, this does not crease half as bad as any other foundation, and I don't feel the need to set it because it's demi-matte. Last foundation I want to talk about, and I'm leaving a lot of foundations out, just keep that in mind, but this one had to be mentioned. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation, and this basically is, or gives you, the same finish as the Clinique one, but it costs about 10-12 euros, something like that. Super inexpensive foundation, and it has that sort of high coverage, not as high as the Clinique, and long wear, but not as long wearing as the Clinique, at least on my skin. My skin is very demanding. It eats up all the foundations I put on it, but this has a very good performance, not just for the price. As a whole, it's an amazing foundation, one of the best of 2016 for me. Next, let's go through very quickly one concealer. I have several that I love. You can check out my previous videos. I still use all of them, but this is the Maybelline Age Rewind or the Eraser Eye, depending on where you buy it from, but it's the one with the sponge tip. And I adore this concealer. I keep it with me at all times. It goes out with me in my purse to retouch throughout the day, and it's a very lightweight concealer for under the eyes. It also covers really nicely some blemishes. If you're on the go, you need some extra coverage, and I just really enjoy this one. Really enjoy it. In the summer, I felt the need to powder because I have a little bit of a combination skin, so I have some oil on the sides of my nose, and this was the powder that I gravitated towards after finishing my Laura Mercier powder, which I can't find here easily. It's the Inglot Stage Sports Studio Loose Mattifying Powder, and it has a lot of colors. It's not one of those one color fits all kind of powder, but it really is really nice on mattifying your skin, and if you blot before you apply it, it won't cake up. I wouldn't use it underneath my eyes, but that's just because it's my current battle to fight the crackly looking concealer and powder underneath the eye. So I prefer to just pat it on and not wear powder underneath the eyes. But for the rest of the face, it's beautiful. And if you are really oily, I think you really will enjoy it. Now, when it comes to brows, Benefit is stealing the game. This is an old packaging of a Gimme Brow, which I've talked about last year, still love it. And this is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which is one of those pencils that are longer and wider. They don't have that very fine nib, but this one is amazing for filling in the brows really quickly. I can go very heavy with it, but it's really easy to make it really lightweight on the brows. Also, it comes with a spoolie on the other end, which is really nice. I use shade 4. And I've mentioned a product by Kiko, which is basically a dupe for this one. This, for me, is just a tad more long wearing. That's just it. When talking about the eyes, there is one palette that I'm going to talk about. Just one, yeah. And it was the guilty pleasure of the year. The Chanel Les Quatre Ombres 268 Candeur et Expérience. I don't know how to correctly pronounce it. Sorry, Frenchies. But I love the color scheme, the fact that they are all matte. You can go with a very light look. You can also go with a smoky eye, a pop of Rebel Red. But all the colors are very wearable, highly pigmented, really easy to blend. It's the best formula in powder eyeshadows that I've come across last year. This is limited edition, and I don't like to talk about limited edition products, but I can still find it here in Portugal. If you want one and you can't find it in your country, hit me up. Maybe I can hook you up with some palettes. Keep in mind, and I've mentioned it in my Sorry Not Sorry video, that this does not have a lot of product and is really expensive. So, but I adored it. I can't put it down, so I had to mention it. Single eyeshadows, you know this is coming. You know, my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I love them, and one of my want-to-dos for 2017 is to continue to buy these eyeshadows. Blendability, pigmentation, they're phenomenal. They're very reasonably priced, although Beauty Bay increased the price on these ones recently. But still, they are worth the money. They are very worth the money. And I have nothing bad to say about them. You know, I'm mad about them. When it comes to eyeliners, I have two to talk about, and they're basically brother and sister. They're siblings. This is the Aqua XL liners by Makeup Forever, and this is the NYX Très Jolie eye pencils. These are quite inexpensive. The Makeup Forever are quite expensive, but they apply a lot of pigment very easily to the inner rim of the eyes. And at the same time, they stay on the inner rim of the eyes brilliantly. They are both, they last so well on the eyes that I can't even. And the Aqua XL come in a huge variety of colors that you can easily buy at Sephora, at least here in Portugal. So check them out. I can't wait. NYX comes out with more colors in this formula. They only have black and brown for now. I really hope they come out with more. When it comes to mascara, instead of finding a new one, and I've tried a lot of them, and God knows that my Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof is my dud of the year, but I went back to a oldie but a goodie for me, and this is the Clinique Lash Power. Yeah, Lash Power mascara. This is long wearing and water and oil proof. You can only take this off of your eyes with warm water. The thing is, this is not a very huge lashes. You can build it up, of course, but the main purpose of this is it creates the most fluttery, natural lashes on your eyes, because this one actually clings on to each one individual lash that you have and makes it thicker and blacker without clumping them together. It's a very dry formula. If you don't like it, you will not like this one, and it dries out really quickly. It's a downside, but I keep coming back to this one. So this is my mascara for 2016. I've used a lot of the Makeup Forever Pro Contour palette when it comes to contouring with creams and cream blush, highlighter. It has everything, really travel friendly. And when it comes to powder contour, I use the heck out of my Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette. Thing is, this shade here, the highlighter, is crap because it's glittery, but all the other shades, oh my god, contour, highlight, and this is great for bronzing the dark cocoa, which is a little bit more reddish. Single bronzer, though, I discovered Hoola by Benefit this year, and I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it because I can use it as a contour and as a bronzer. It has that mid-tone brown, and I even use the brush that comes with it, yes, to sharpen my cheeks like this. See? Just that's that. As a single and really travel friendly, this is the one I love. Now, I have to talk about a brand from which all the products I've used are amazing. Not only because it's stupidly inexpensive, despite having to pay customs for it. Despite that, it still comes down to being super inexpensive product. But the array of colors for each kind of product is amazing, and the formulas are great. So let's talk about, you know, ColourPop. I love the eyeshadows. This is Mittens, which is one of my favorites. The eyeshadows are cream to powder, but not cream nor powder. They can go over creams, over your foundation directly. They can go over powders, and they always look amazing. You can go with a sheer wash of color. You can pack them on and create a very strong, bold eye. I love these, and you can use synthetic brushes or your fingers and go out the door, and I think these are amazing. And the same exact formula is the one on their blushes, which are the Super Shock Cheek. These are my two favorite colors, which are, please hold, Aphrodisiac, which is a nude, basically a nude with a hint of pink that goes well with everything, and don't be scared, Rain, which is basically a lilac. On my cheeks, most of the pinkish coral blushes all look the same when blended out. This one pops on my cheeks. I hope you can still see it, and I adore that. Now I can't wait to test out their highlighters because I have an order coming. When it comes to their gel pot eyeliners, I really like them. They get dry a bit too quick for my taste, but the array of colors that you get, you can't find this array of colors anywhere else. Anywhere else. They're super easy to apply, and nothing else to say. They're quite long wearing. They just can be a bit flaky if you don't apply them with some patience. That's just that, but because of the price, I can deal with a bit more of work. When it comes to lips, the Lippy Sticks by ColourPop. These are amazing. Matte, Matte X, and creams. I love the three formulas, all the same. They are super, they glide really well on the lips. They're not drying at all. The Matte X, a bit more drying, but that comes with the fact that they are matte. And they have, again, a huge array of colors. These were my favorite lipsticks of this year. And of course, you know, the Ultra Satin and Ultra Matte lips. I mean, these are amazing. These are their liquid long wearing formula. One is satiny and a little bit more hydrating. The other one, because it's matte, is matte and a little bit more drying on the lips. Some people complain about them crumbling on the lips. I would say clean the damn applicator and apply a thin layer instead of slathering your lips with it, because it won't cake up and it won't start to crumble and look dodgy. That's when it happens. If you use a thin layer, these will last you really nicely. These are not transfer proof, neither of them, neither of the formulas, but they perform beautifully and they can last about 5 hours on your lips. No problem there. Both matte and the satins, in my opinion. You know, Portugal takes its time to get in touch with the rest of the world, and only this year we got NYX. And NYX has amazing products also. I'm going to give a shout out to just a few. The Strobe of Genius palette. You have all the highlighters, the powder highlighters that you may want, need, or dream of in here. The gold is shit. All the other ones are phenomenal. You don't need much more. The prismatic eyeshadows. I love the single eyeshadows. Also love them, have several of them, but the prismatic ones, They have so much pigmentation and sheen. They are very, very well made and they're so creamy. I really like them. Look at this. They're so beautiful. Lastly, the NYX Butter Glosses, which are amazing, super affordable again, as everything in NYX. And they are so beautiful. They're not too sheer. They pack a punch in color, but they don't overwhelm anything that you put underneath them. They're not sticky, and they are quite long lasting. So all in all, beautiful lip glosses for €6 or something like that. And the matte lip creams, you know, these are just amazing. They are very comfortable on the lips, and they look beautiful. You can build them up. They won't go patchy or dry on your lips. They're not meant to lock into your lips, so they're really nice and comfortable. And the array of colors, again, NYX, you know. So I really enjoyed discovering NYX in person this year. So that wraps it. And these are my favorite makeup products of 2016. If you want my favorite skincare, maybe randoms, hair care, let me know in the comments below. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my blogs, free.volous.blog and pt.free.volous.blog for the Portuguese version. Follow me on Instagram. All the links will be in my blogs below. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for spending this little time with me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!